Because by the time, when you say somebody is guilty of corruption, there must be the giver, there must be the taker, and there must be the evidence.
So Obasanjo founded the EFCC and the ICPC, the Independent Corrupt Practices Commission. And it's very refreshing to watch this older interview where he was defending his record on corruption.
There are serious allegations concerning you and your family and corruption and kickbacks.
Now,
are you prepared to face those charges and to give a full accounting?
I'm very, very much so. Very much so. And if you have any evidence, Steve, please show it to me, and I will defend myself anywhere in the world.
Well,
because what you are saying
let's
is absolute nonsense, without due respect. I am the only leader in Nigeria that has been examined and reported upon by the anti-corruption bodies in Nigeria. I am the only one.
When your successor took over, he described corruption in the country as endemic, and he said it was the country's elite that was responsible.
Well, he's one of them.
One of what?
He's one of Nigeria's elite.
Of course he is, and he's saying, as he takes over and looks at what is happening inside government, there is corruption to the very top. That doesn't reflect well on you.
If he said that, did he mention Obasanjo? Did he mention Obasanjo, Steve?
But you were the president.
I am
responsible for the governance of your country.
No, I'm not responsible for the corruption of every Nigerian.
Not every Nigerian, but you are, in the end, the chief executive of a country which your own successor says is endemically corrupt.
You have made strong allegation against me personally, and against my family.
I'm coming to that.
And you have no way to substantiate it. Substantiate it. It's not that this is something where you are taking undue advantage.
No,
I will have even said that.
Let's talk.
I will go beyond here.
The various Halliburton subsidiaries have paid vast amounts of money in fines in the United States because of bribes and corruption paid out to Nigerian officials. And if one takes the testimony...
Are those Nigerian officials, am I one of them?
Well, let's talk about that.
Yes. Am I one of them? I am not worried. I am very, very sure of my position and my stand. All right? I do not say that people in my government were not corrupt, but I am.
Well, let's stop you just there. Are you saying that people in your government were corrupt?
Of course, I will not. Can you say the people in the government of any country are not corrupt?
But I'm talking about senior people. I'm talking about ministers. I'm talking about your closest allies. Do you now believe some of them were corrupt?
Well, my vice president had something to do with Jefferson, which is part of the case in America. I don't know whether corruption has been proved or not, but he had a question to answer.
Is it not a terrible failing? We'll leave aside, perhaps for the courts to decide whether you personally can be held to account for any of this, but do you accept it was a terrible failing for you as president to see inside your government, at the very top of your government, according to your own successor, that there was rampant corruption?
I do not accept that, because if in any government, somebody is found to be corrupt, the onus lie on the head of that government to bring that man to book. When I was the head of government, there's no case of corruption against any minister, any high government official.
But that just shows the system doesn't work.
No, I don't agree with you.
But you've admitted to me that corruption was prevalent in your country when you were president, and yet not one senior official inside your federal government has been convicted of serious corruption.
I do not agree with you. You don't have your facts correct. In my government, 3 ministers were charged to court. In fact, one died in the process. The Inspector General of Police was charged and convicted. The President of the Senate in my own party was charged to court. Our Minister of Education was charged to court. What more do you want?
One of those people who currently is under investigation is your own eldest daughter.
Yes,
your own eldest daughter.
Yes, what happened to my eldest daughter?
She is still being investigated by the anti-corruption watchdog inside your own country.
So what? Has he
Would you accept responsibility for her?
No, why should I? He's old enough. He's a girl of 42 years old. Will you accept responsibility for your son at the age of 21 for whatever he does? Now, don't ask me that type of question. I found it Very insulting, with all due respect. Now, you won't ask that type of question to a European leader.
I think you'd find if a European leader whose daughter was in a European Senate was accused of serious fraud charges, that would not reflect.
That's an allegation. And anything can be alleged. You can be alleged to be a liar. And when it's investigated, if you are not a liar, that is the allegation goes. That's an allegation. And you don't work on allegations.
I said it was an allegation.
Yes,
I accepted
then
an
when
allegation.
you have
what I would ask you before we finish is this.
Yes. Now, and the fact that Nigeria is fighting these lapses and is doing something about it, I think one should even say hooray to Nigeria. There are many countries where these things are covered up. In our own case, we are ready to go out and say, yes, we set up, under my own administration, 2 bodies, unlike any other country, that are fighting corruption. 2 bodies. And even here, the Metropolitan Police gave us kudos. For the way
final thought, because we must end, but your successor, President Yar'Adua, I've quoted some of his words suggesting that he was unhappy with the inheritance he received. Are you happy? Are you happy with the direction in which he is taking Nigeria today?
No, I don't want to comment on that.
Why not?
Because it's too soon for me to comment.
Too soon?
Yeah.
You took over in 2007.
Well.
How many years does he need before you're prepared to tell me whether he is doing a good job or not?
You should ask him. If what you said he has said is true, you should ask him. And I believe that what you said he has said is not true. Because he won't say so. I know that this man is, to the best of my knowledge, for now, is a good person. But he himself knows that being a good person alone does not make you an effective, a successful, and a great president. You need much more than that.
Olusegun Obasanjo, thank you very much for being on Hard Talk.
Steve, thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Although this video is over 10 years old, it's very refreshing to see Obasanjo defend his records on corruption. And today we have a major corruption problem, even in the country. So it's really nice to kind of watch this, even though it's a throwback, 10 years plus old video. And the question I ask myself is, what is the current administration doing to fight corruption? And if they could take the mantle from Obasanjo, I believe that we'll be further along in a much better place in terms of the fight against corruption. What are your thoughts on this, guys? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Bye, guys.
Bata bata, bata bata, bata box.